Hello. I'm talking about the year 1975, 76. I used to work for a law firm in San Francisco, Kyle Connolly and Barbieri. Mr. Kyle was German. Mr. Connolly, his wife's brother, Sala, was Irish, and Barbieri, as the name suggests, was an Italian. What a combination, huh? But they were a very good, very successful, very well-reputed law firm in San Francisco. And I was fortunate enough to work for them. I worked in a very low capacity, of course. I was a chauffeur to Mr. Kyle, who had very bad eyesight, and also did some legal work, legal clerk work, research, and like serving subpoenas, and a little bit of this and that everywhere. Every time I would get a chance to go out and get things done, I would go. I would love to. I used to drive a big Cadillac. The only problem was parking, but then we had parking permits everywhere. Anyways, what I wanted to mention to you is Mr. Connolly was in his 60s at that time, tall, handsome Irishman. He was a colonel or even higher up in U.S. Army, retired, and he was a very loving and a very, very, very pleasant old man. Mr. Kyle was quiet and reserved, but Mr. Connolly always joked, and he always sat next to me, and carry out, always bum a cigarette from me. But anyways, he was the chairman or president, I don't know which of the Lung Association of California, San Francisco chapter. And he was supposed to be a reformed smoker, but he did smoke without the knowledge of his wife. He would never keep cigarettes in his pocket because he knew she will frisk him, and find out. So he always bummed cigarette from me, and he probably would steal or borrow cigarettes from his partner, Mr. Kyle, who smoked heavily. Once, Mr. Connolly, like we had intercom, he said, "Jimmy, I need you. Come to my office." So I go to his office. He hands me a small packet. He said, "I want you to take this packet to this address, and a lady will answer your doorbell. Give it to her. She would understand." No questions asked. I said, "Yes, sir." So I take this packet, trying to feel it. I'm very curious, trying to feel it, but I can't figure it out. And there is a box inside, I suppose, a cardboard box, so it's hard to tell. I try to kind of rattle it, nothing. So I put it in the car, and I take off, and I go to this place. And I feel kind of funny. I always thought that Mr. Connolly was a very high character, one-woman man. He was married. His wife was not keeping too well, but hey, that shouldn't make him go after other women. But here he was. He had given me a packet, and he told me to take it quietly. He just did it very privately, in the sense that he could have come out in the office and give it to me, but he did not. He called me in his chambers. So I was kind of, I was kind of excited to see who this woman is who has enticed Mr. Connolly. And then again, I felt sad that, oh, gee, Mr. Connolly doing this? Yeah. But anyways, who was I to judge anyone? So I go, as the address told me to, park the car. It's kind of a quiet area, so I could find parking. And I climb the stairs and go up. And there is the number of the flat, the apartment, no name on it. So I very gingerly ring the bell and wait with the packet in my hand. The door opens, and a middle-aged, short, little chubby Filipino woman opens the door. He said, yes? I'm taken aback. I was expecting, frankly, a tall, beautiful blonde with blue eyes maybe, or maybe a brunette. Nothing of the sort. Short, poorly dressed, not poorly, but, simply dressed Filipino woman in her late 40s or early 50s. So I just look at her and I just hesitate and said, so, well, Mr. Connolly has sent me, asked me to give this to you. You know him, right? Her name was something, Helen something. He said, Miss Helen. He said, oh, Mr. Connolly, he's done it again. So I just look at her. And she really rips the packet and opens the cardboard box and takes a pair of trousers out. So I just looked at her. I said, what? She said, yeah, he's always making holes. He smokes and he makes holes in his pants. And then he sends it out to me for darning, because his wife, she will kill him. And she starts, ha, 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 ha. And whole pressure is released. What an anticlimax. I'm relieved. I am so relieved. I just looked at her. I said, wow, okay, he does this very often. Now I could talk. She said, yeah, but I haven't seen you before. There used to be some other guy who used to come and bring his pants here, sometimes his coat too. I said, yeah, he bumps cigarettes from me. He said, I know, he doesn't smoke because if he doesn't keep cigarettes in his pocket, because if he did, his wife would kill him. I think she loved that expression, his wife would kill him. Well, I said, okay, ma'am, when should I pick this up? She said, it'll be done in about a couple of hours, and you can pick it up either around 3:30 or so or tomorrow. I said, okay. How much money should I bring? I asked. He said, don't worry. Mr. Connolly will take care of it. He pays me every year or so. I said, okay. And I take off and I get back into my car and I'm not tense. I am singing. I'm happy. My Mr. Connolly is still a great guy. A smoker. And who wants to cheat on his wife about smoking? But hey, that's no problem.